Hello, my name is Mrs. Chalmers. Welcome to our numeracy strategy of the day. Here at Inverclyde, we use various strategies to help us calculate addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. We use these strategies from primary 3 to primary 7 and beyond. Being able to add, subtract, multiply and divide in lots of different ways is a really useful skill to have. Today, we will focus on the process of multiplication, and the strategy we will use is the doubling strategy. Our learning intention is to use pictorial representations and abstract thinking to solve multiplication tasks. Remember, abstract thinking is just number sense. It's about knowing how numbers are made, and it can also be about thinking if an answer is reasonable or not. To be successful, you should be able to show, draw and describe how to solve a multiplication problem using the doubling strategy, and then to apply the strategy to similar problems. Have you got your pencil and paper ready? If you need to pause the video, you can do that now and get organised. When you first started to learn about multiplication, you would have had lots of practice using concrete materials to help you build up the times tables facts. You would also have had lots of experience drawing pictures and arrays to help you understand what multiplication is. Now we can think about different strategies to use and calculate in our head or on an empty number line. When we double something, we are really just multiplying by 2. When you multiply by 4, it is just doubling and doubling again. And then, of course, multiplying by 8 is just the same as doubling 3 times. Let's have a go using the doubling strategy. Here is our first example, 23 times 4. Pause the video here and use your pencil and paper and make some notes on how you would work it out. Come back when you have an answer and we'll compare. Remember, the ability to double numbers is useful for multiplication, particularly when we're multiplying by 4 and multiplying by 8. I know that 23 times 2 is 46. If that's still a bit tricky, we could partition 23. We could double 20 to give us 40 and double 3 to give us 6 to make 46. That's only multiplying by 2. We need to double that again if we want to get to the right answer, 23 times 4. So 46 doubled is 92. And again, you might need to partition it. Double 40 is 80, double 6 is 12, 80 and 12 is 92. So the rule is to multiply by 4, just multiply by 2 and double it. So how would you solve 23 times 8 if we already know what 23 times 4 is? Have a think about that. We knew that 23 times 2 was 46. We knew that 46 times 2 was 92. And if we double 92, our answer would be 184. So the rule to multiply by 8 is to multiply by 2, double your answer, and double your answer again. Let's have a look at another example, 15 times 6. Earlier I mentioned that the doubling strategy is usually used for the 2, 4 and 8 times table, but it can help us with other facts too. Have a go at this sum and come back when you have your answer. I might be better at remembering the facts of the 3 times table, so I would use that knowledge to help me with the 6 times table. I know that 15 times 3 is 45. So all I need to do now is to double that answer, and double 45 is 90. So to multiply by 6, the rule would need to be multiply it by 3 and double your answer. Again, here's a different example to try. How would you solve 32 times 5? And would the doubling strategy help you here? Try it for yourself and come back and check. Some people find multiplying by 5 quite easy, and for others it can be tricky, so they use the 10 times table to help them. So instead of multiplying by 5, multiply by 10. Of course, we would have way too much when we reason about that answer. We would then have to half the answer. Halving is the opposite of doubling. So I know that 32 times 10 was 320, and I know that half of 320 is 160. And again, I used my known facts. I knew that half of 32 was 16. Or maybe you could half 300 to get 150 and half 20 to get 10 and put them together. Again, you might have used a completely different strategy to work this out, and having the answer is the most important one. It's now your turn to try out some multiplication problems using the doubling strategy if you can, or some of those other strategies that we looked at in this video. Start with the first column, but if it's too easy for you, move on to another column. Remember, if it's still quite hard, you may need to use a multiplication square to help you, or write down some known facts. Pause the video while you complete this task, and when you have finished, share your work with your teacher. You will also find another activity and a link to an online game to practice your multiplication. Good luck! I'm sure you've played Buzz lots of times in your own classroom. Maybe you could teach it to someone else in your household. I would start by choosing the times table that I might want to practice. In this case, I've shown an example of the 6 times table. So we count in ones, and every time we reach a multiple of 6, shout Buzz instead of the number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Buzz. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, Buzz. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, Buzz. You can play this with 2 people, 3, 4, or 5. Maybe you would just want to practice it by yourself. I hope you have lots of fun. Here is a link to a website which has lots of different multiplication games. Why not have a go at playing some of them and make a recommendation or two to some of your friends? Don't forget to ask them which games they enjoyed playing too. I'm sure you'll have lots of fun and you'll improve your times tables at exactly the same time.